Hey, Julie, are you able to hear us?
Do we need to let her in?
I haven't seen her in here.
She was waiting. It said.
It said,
I
yeah,
saw
but
her
outside of
somewhere.
network.
I saw her name there. Oop.
I think you gotta accept her, right?
Oh,
Oh,
she's
viewer
viewer.
only.
Okay.
Can you change her? Yeah.
Hey.
There we go.
Hey, Julie, can you hear us?
Wait.
She's
At
in
the
there
top,
now, but
see
she's
it
muted.
shows
We
the
don't want to
muted.
argue with her.
Can you unmute her?
Yeah, unmute you.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hi. Hi.
I'm gonna try and turn this on again.
So we're experiencing a couple of slight technical difficulties, but that's okay. It looks like you've got your text.
Thanks, tech support.
Do we look super zoomed in to you?
And now it's only doing it as people talk.
Which is what it's supposed to do.
Oh, good.
So,
Kevin's head especially big.
Yeah, it's all long.
all right. So
I
now
know
we
that
start
that's
on
it.
you.
Okay,
I'm gonna
because I
start
wonder why
with-
the funny. And I said, actually, yeah.
Because it's like your friend.
Yeah.
Okay, we're recording.
I was thinking about that. Let's see.
Second reading of the Fulton System Board of Trustees to order. And let's begin with roll call. Julie Georgie,
Here.
Christy Merritt,
Here.
Sue Summers, Olga Granite,
Here.
Kevin Pazer,
Here.
Roger Rhodes.
Here.
And Paul Knopf also present. Do we have any public comment today? Seeing none present here, any online? Okay. Well, let's move on then to our consent agenda. I'd entertain a motion to accept the consent agenda.
Oh, I'll second.
That was a close
Motion and a second. Want to have some discussion now, Jesse, before we go ahead with that?
Sure. So I wanted to make a note of the report of investments. Last month, Stu had found an error on one of our spreadsheets. So in your guys' documents, I wanted to make sure we understand most of those financial ones were all fine. There's one separate document that we do as kind of an added benefit to you guys to help kind of distill it down and help it make a little bit of sense. In that one, there was a formula error that occurred back in February. Thank you. It was because of a check to United Healthcare. And so we had put it in one spot and Haley made an adjustment, moved it to another spot. So it was all corrected on your official financial documents, but on the one that we do for you, that formula didn't get carried down. So those are corrected and are in your packet there.
Thank you.
And so those will be ready for your approval, and this would cover us going back and making those changes. I'd also like to note that for the director's report, the portage, we received the $218,000 check for the canopy. This is the undisputed amount from the insurance company. 206,000 of it is our part, because that company who negotiates for us gets a percentage of it. And so they got everything above and beyond what I had already negotiated. They got a percentage of that. And so I think my negotiated numbers at 190.
140, I thought.
No, it was at 190, but either way, there's a number in there that we negotiated for. They got a little extra. This is that number. And then they're going to go and try and get more for us because everything they're hearing from the contractors and from their own estimates and things say this number should be much higher than what it is. So they're going to keep working for it. But this at least allows us to get those monies in and start moving forward.
Excellent. Thank you.
The canopy and the doors have been completed, but the roof is still in progress. And so I have not been pleased with this and have been kind of following up with the architect and their team up there because we've been promised this roof since July. We're getting water damage inside. We're keeping track of all of it, the ceiling tiles, anything that gets broken along the way. We've got a list going so that we can get the money back from that.
What's their reason?
Their reason is labor shortages. So yesterday they had 2 guys working to shingle the roof. And where my frustration comes from is this is a major company that does a lot of work. When we had the Couts roof done by a very small roofing outfit, they completed that roof in less than 3 days and it was fantastic. and we're all over the place. They had a full team swooped in, and I've got 2 people working on that roof. So that's not okay. They're pulling in more people now and expect to be completed with the roof portion of it by next week, weather dependent. They're hoping to get it done. They had planned on for this week, but the weather threw them off. After that, they still have work to do with the metal siding and the gutters, and that's causing more delays because those are a different labor group, and they got to have that metal worker group come in. So they're working on getting additional folks in. They expect it to be a couple of weeks, which is okay. The roof is what I really need done, so we don't have much of a water damage issue. But I kind of expected, based on what they're telling me, by about mid-October that we should be nearing completion on the Portage project. And then for the patron comments, I did want to note that we had a lot of comments about our hours change down at the Couch branch. So I just want to make you all aware that I'll be doing kind of a coffee with the director, town hall sort of stuff in Couch in October after the next board meeting. And what we're going to do, and I was talking to a couple of you about it, is a listening session. And I'll be able to have any information that we use in the decision-making process, as well as the branch manager and some staff who are involved in the process on hand. And we're just going to have a conversation. They've got lots of questions and concerns. We really don't want to get into a back and forth on social media that may devolve and not be productive. And so by doing this town hall, we'll invite the individuals who made comments. It'll give them an opportunity to be heard and for us to explain the rationale. And there's a couple of possibilities. Either we're wrong and there's a really good idea out there, in which case we'd be happy to adapt course and take it if somebody's got a great solution, or sound information that people may not enjoy or like, but hopefully by the end of the conversation, they can appreciate the position we're in and the steps that we're taking to try to stay ahead of this problem that's evolving in front of every municipal group in the state. So I don't expect it to be necessarily a fun conversation, but I think that we've done our due diligence, we have the information, and this is going to be a good opportunity for those folks to.
And if the community would like to raise our budget, that's fine too.
I will certainly provide them opportunities, I think, for us to, from that perspective. But I do think that our reasoning was very sound. And each taxing district is going to have to make their own decisions on this moving forward. And what we're doing, and I think it's the right decision, is following the numbers, putting the information, or sorry, the funds where the information says that we should go, and not making any rash decisions. This is proactive, this is measured, and I think it's the right decision. So hopefully after this, and we're gonna have some infographics and things with and some handouts, hopefully it'll make sense for those folks and they can hopefully get on board a little bit, because we definitely want them to keep supporting and loving their library in the end of this. We don't want any animosity.
Thank you.
And we put a lot of effort into that library too.
Yes.
I'd like to go to one of those if you want someone to come along. So let me know when you schedule those.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.
Let's go forward with our vote on the consent agenda then. We'll do that by roll call again. Julie?
We have
Aye.
to take a motion.
Sorry. We have a motion.
Motion is second.
Roger Rhodes?
Aye.
Kim Merritt?
Hi.
Olga Granite?
Aye.
Kevin Pager?
Aye.
And I myself. Let's continue on then with our items for individual consideration. And we're going to begin with the public hearing for the 2026 budget, which we have to do every year. So let's open the public hearing for the 2026 budget. Do we have any public here for a public hearing?
We do not.
Hearing,
We'll check online just to be 100% sure. We do not.
hearing none, I would entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Yeah, again, we'll take roll call on the closing of the public hearing. Julie Georgie,
Aye.
Roger Rhodes,
Aye.
Christy Merritt.
Aye.
Olga Granite,
Aye.
Kevin Pager,
Aye.
and myself, I also. And then I assume that in October, we'll get back to public, not public hearing, but we'll get acceptance of the budget.
Yeah, that'll be the opportunity to hopefully accept it and keep on pace with the proper flow.
Let's go with item number 2 then, the treasurer's bond. I think this is something we do annually.
It is. This is our annual bond of $10,000, which is the state mandated number for our treasurers that will cover the board treasurer, and we would recommend approval of that.
I would entertain a motion to approve the treasurer's bond.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Kevin, seconded by Olga. Any other discussion about the treasurer's bond? Okay, let's go forward with our roll call vote then. Julie Georgie,
Aye.
Roger Rhodes,
Aye.
Christy Merritt,
Aye.
Olga Grenick,
Aye.
and Kevin Fisher.
Aye.
I also. And we're up to number 3, the Hebron Garden already.
Sure. So I wanted to give the board a quick update on the Hebron Garden and to say a quick apology as well that.
I got the stopwatch on it.
I'm wondering if Paul's gonna break the record tonight.
Oh, I better slow it down. I'm the previous record holder, so. Nope, let's go, keep going.
So the Hebron Garden has stalled a bit because of my circumstances, so I appreciate your guys' understanding with me. But I did, and we've communicated to the city. There was some concern from the city that we hadn't moved forward with the garden. There was some bit of confusion on the timeline of the garden originally. At one point, about a year and a half ago, we had communicated that it was our intention to finish it this year. Since then, we'd actually talked about starting it this year and finishing it next year. And I don't know that we communicated that as effectively as we could have to the city. So we now have, and I've heard sound, thank you. And I've also apologized just for my part in it. And we've kind of walked through some of what we've done. So I just want everybody to know what we've done here for the town of Hebron's Garden. And I expect to have a full bid packet at our October meeting to where we can go out, which I prefer to go out this time of year when there's not as many contracts and folks are slightly hungrier on a landscaping perspective. And I do think that given the work that we're requesting, a lot of it can still happen in this year in November here. But so far we have spent quite a bit of money, over $41,000 so far, on items such as the baby grand piano that was sponsored by the Hebron Redevelopment Commission, talking tubes, drums, those wind turbine benches that we just got one of those for down there. We've also done some exploratory work, but it's hard for that to be visible, even though that's a very small space that happened behind the planter. So there's a planter right in the front of the old entrance, and we paid a fella to dig down just as deep as he could to see what was in it, because what we would like to do, and I hope to get a proposal next month, is to remove that planter off of the front and in its place put a small raised platform stage that can act as a seating platform and also a children's programming stage, a concert stage, whatever it may be. In digging down to figure this out, we figured out that they just kind of yanked the old stairs out of there and then filled it in with dirt and built this up around it a little bit. So there's a recessed portion underneath this little capstone that you have to go under. We're going to have to fill that out. It will never look right to the old building. So we don't want it to look right. So the current plan is we'll turn that space into an art installation like we did in Portage. We'll basically flush it out to a smooth surface and then go ahead and mount on the front of it an art installation that we'll be able to use. And I want to go about it a little bit different in Hebron than we did in Portage. In Portage, we found an actual professional artist. We went through the whole process. In Hebron, I want to tap into the kids in the school district. And so what our plan is currently, because we have art for both the windmill bench and for that little art section there, we want to talk to the schools. Do they want to do a school-wide art contest? Do they want to do a collaborative art contest or process, whatever it may be? But we really want it to be driven by the Hebron school kids. So I've got my community engagement team working on that. Maintenance is working on getting a proposal to get those bricks off, reuse as much as we can, make it as close to the original as we can, and then get our little art installation section for what we can. We've worked with all the neighbors. All the neighbors know it's coming and are okay, including telling them there's going to be a piano outside their house, and they're all in favor of it and excited, which is great. We've located the utilities. We've drawn up our plans, and it will be a modest garden. It's a modest space. So we have a winding pathway, as we do in all of them, 2 entrances coming in, and then we're just going to kind of put a couple little features around and some benches and just be a very nice little space for people to enjoy. We're really hoping that stage can work out because that'll kind of tie it all together and make it feel a little bit more balanced. And so the biggest challenge for us, well, no surprise, be drainage. We've got to get drainage from the instruments into the sewer without making it just kind of flood and make a mess on our path like we had at one point in South Haven. So we're working with the storm water group. We think we've got a plan on how to tap into that. And my maintenance guys Jason's working on what that's going to look like. So we feel pretty confident about the direction we're going from drainage. The pathway is going to be very simple. We're going to do that crushed granite again, crushed rock, red rock again. It'll be very simple again. And then the same exact fence that we've used here. And so it should be a pretty quick process once we get the bids out there. So my hope is we kind of send this bid packet out sometime here in the next couple of weeks and be able to have it either for October or for November, where bids are actually able to be, or quotes at this point will be a smaller amount that we can actually move forward with it in November, December. And then we're off and running. And then hopefully we'll be able to have the garden opening in spring or late spring, early summer of 26. So that's that bit in there.
Sounds good. Any questions for Jesse about the Hebron Town Garden?
None. And as a reminder, we do have the story walk off-site there because it was not going to fit in that little space. So it's behind their police station.
Okay. They'll have to come inside.
Yeah.
Do we have any other items that were not on the printed agenda?
No.
Okay.
Now, you can delay this a long time if you don't want to adjourn.
No, I'm happy handing over the title to you for the quickest meeting.
We should have like a little.
16 minutes.
Oh, we're good. All right.
Say no more, say no more.
That's it.
I'd entertain a motion to adjourn then.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Uh-oh. I knew this thing would on.
Second.
I know.
Okay, let's go with the roll call there. Kevin Frazier.
I.
Aye.
Kristen Barrett.
Aye.
Roger Rhodes.
Aye.
Julie Georgie.
Aye.
And I also. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Pretty good.
What time is it?
16.
Thanks for the updates.
That was speedy. Have a nice day, everybody.
Bye. Oh. Wave the,
Yeah.
not to
Realize
join.
I look like I'm looking off into the
That's
distance.
right. Yeah.
Maybe I think I stopped it. Would you double check that?
Well, you got it.
All right. See you all next month.
See you later.
Bye.